So here we are with episode 1 of the Eminence in Shadow. A little bit of a recap. I remember reading this manga back in my manga binge of 2018-2019, and I remember I probably gone around like 5 volumes in, and afterwards we had a whole cutout of 2020 where I just stopped reading manga for like almost a whole year, except for 3 of my favorite manga series. So I don't really remember all that much about the Eminence in Shadow. I do remember the concept, which you can see in the summary, and I also can't remember whether this is also the story where before the main character Sid got isekai'd into the fantasy world. Was he also the guy who worked out, and so because of that he's sort of like this otaku who's also like extremely buff? I can't remember if that is the whatever that part is. It's just stuck in my head for all this time, and that's just all I remember. And I can't remember whether it's from the Eminence in the Shadow or not, because I know that Sid is like a guy who has that middle schooler syndrome where he, and that's why he makes this like this whole underground organization to fight against this made-up cult, but then the made-up cult is actually a real thing. But I suppose we'll just have to find out in this episode. And I do have my full-length reactions up on Patreon, which you guys can check out in the description down below. Other than that, let us get started. For a second there, I thought somebody was sleeping with a cat girl on top of him. What a shitty fucking mirror. Can't even see yourself. What? Alright, just a girl going off to school and nobody else is in this apartment. She's a rich lady and she's got some trauma. Alright. Am I watching the right anime? There was a boy, Kage no. Exceedingly ordinary. How dare this boy be so ordinary and be the main character at the same time? It's such a heavy sound. Are those heavy are those shoes like 50 kilograms? What is it then? You gotta tell him. You gotta tell him. A named NPC, motherfucker. This man's literally talking to. He's got like weights on his wrist too, and his entire fucking bag is like. Yeah, he's played too many fucking games. Monday night drama. So she's an actor as well? Look at him. This man is just training all day. I wonder why we're following her. That is my question currently. Because of a scandal. Okay. Okay, so that's the little trauma that you have? Man's writing in German? More power. Mm-hmm. Of course. You went through that trauma, and that's why you've got all that defense build up. This man's fucking out here playing piano, dude. I don't think his fingers match what the pianos were playing. So she stayed up all night. Not all night, but all afternoon and evening. Like, Jesus Christ. The young miss. Uh-oh. The driver's out here getting attacked by the mafia? Like, Jesus Christ, dude. Well, time to walk back home. Hopefully you don't get caught by the mafia. Oh, well, there's still students out here just... Well, look at him just standing on the roof. But now you are. And it's at night too. Pretty wild, huh? Is it because of his shoe that it makes such a big noise? I swear, like, you saw how heavy his shoes were? No. She's Nishimura. The mafia, man, they're just... Man's just watching. What the Aaron, we're one episode in, we've already gotten straight into a kidnap plot point. Well, I mean, you guys did beat their fucking driver, so... Oh, you guys are just gonna fight? You outdated kid. This man just followed them? Finally, I can use all these weights! Oh my god, dude. What, nobody heard that fucking thumping noise? He can finally reenact his fucking playdate, dude. Oh, nothing like trauma, huh? I don't know about that. Worst memories, yeah, sure. You know, it's that sort of isekai when the first episode comes in and a girl gets sexually assaulted. And by that I mean like a power play fantasy, you know? Stylish ruffian slayer. This fucker. Don't get cute with us. Holy shit. Oh my god. Oh my god. This man wants a fucking hand-to-hand little kitty abduction. So like, were you oh, so he said he was booted, so he was discharged from the military for what, being a war criminal? Crowbars are good. That is true. You may able to make excuses. Well, that's why he's got weapons, my guy. And also, this man's been training. Oh. Yeah, they've got a nice little point. He's got another nickname? Are you fucking... Mmm. This is our main character, everybody. He's a serial killer. Sorry, he only beats people, like, close to death. He doesn't actually kill them. Not that we know of, anyways. Hey, you've got a nice switchblade from this. What a... What a nice reflection, dude. Why you gotta do it so scary? Like, why you gotta do it from up top? Like, Jesus fucking Christ, my guy. He just wrapped them up, disassembled all their fucking guns? How do you get up here? You need to be stronger. I'll never be the Eminence in the shadow. This man just said the title. But Daddy pulled some strings. Of course. Stylish ruffian slayer. Whoa! I thought it is Nishino, huh? Whoa! Well, you're now a slightly important character in his life now. A slightly important. Yeah, because he got isekai'd. It was hit by Truck-kun! No! No! Holy shit! We got that piano piece that he's been playing. It's something that it's used very often, but I can't remember the name of this piano piece. Is there any well, we're literally 17 minutes in. Okay, it's an interesting approach to getting just a slight backstory on the character before, you know, they got isekai'd into the other world. So, like, what we've seen from Sid is that he wants to be Batman. So he's out here training all the time, you know, he's got those little wristbands, his shoes are fucking heavy as hell, he's got like a whole bunch of weights in his bag, and I assume crowbars in his bag as well. And he's out here beating up bikers, beating up kidnappers. He can somehow climb buildings very well. Alright. You don't want to be a hero, you want to be a fucking vigilante. Yeah, so he trained in a bunch of martial arts. Mm-hmm. Sentimental. The one day you become a hero. The time has come for me to face reality. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you could be able to dodge bullets, but yeah. 'Just like the fucking truck that hit you. Yeah, I get it. Well, ooh. You want to be OP just like every other isekai. Oh. Hmm. And of course he has a whole fucking group of just ladies. Because why not? I'm not sure. Super amazing. Oh my god. Whoa, he just dropped the title again. My god. Twice in the first episode. Is this the opening? Looks like it. Okay. I'm not sure if we're gonna continue with him already hitting the crowd, or not the crowd, but having him, he already has the group, or we're actually gonna get him getting to the reincarnation. What? I don't remember them being in high school, I'll be honest with you. Okay. Honestly, that's my whole entire opinion of this episode. Okay. But alright, we're gonna go back to the center. Alright, so that was episode 1 of the Eminence in Shadow. Let me know what you guys think about it in the comments down below. You know that I always like talking to you guys. For me, it certainly was an introduction to before the isekai. I had to go and read chapter 1 again because I was like, yeah, this seems like all very anime only. And so I looked in chapter 1 and it was exactly what I remembered. The guy got super fucking buff. He was like twice the size of every other student, or 3 times the size of every other student, because he was just building muscle upon muscle. Or perhaps that's just what he thought he looked like. But and in the end, as he was like training, he saw like lights from the forest and he ran out and thinking that it's like magic or something, but he actually just ran out in front of a fucking truck, and that's how he got isekai'd. But I guess the anime was just like, yeah, that's a little bit too short. Let us make a whole entire segment of this character who we'll probably never going to see again, because obviously she's living in the normal world, and we're gonna go into the fantasy world. So it's a little odd. I don't know. I'm a little iffy about it, but that's just like backstory of isekai and all that. But they did technically show you the beginning of chapter 1 just a little bit after the end credit, when he was talking about how he wanted to be a hero this whole time, and despite kids who wanted to be heroes, and as they grow up they discard that idea, but he has this idea his whole fucking life, and he has kept it, and he has trained himself in order to do it. And then, you know, as he says, despite him training and all that, he doesn't really have the superpower that the heroes that he see in movies and comics and whatever. He craves this power that he wants, and as you saw, now that he is in this fantasy world and knowing that he can do magic, he wants more I want more power. Oh man, the way he says power, it just sounds like somehow he is rolling his P's for, I don't know how he does it, but it is just fantastic. But yeah, as he says, he wants more power, and he would give up everything just for it. And in this case, he technically did give up everything. He gave up his life, and then he got reincarnated into this fantasy world. Although he did say it post fantasy world, or post isekai, so perhaps he just means he will give himself up in this world as well for magic. You know, he's in the pursuit for power. But if that introduction, if you had read the manga, doesn't really show you how much he wants to be, well, he doesn't want to be a hero, he wants to be the Eminence in Shadow. He wants to be the person who does everything from the shadow and show how great everyone else is that, I believe, what he said? So I don't want to be the hero, I don't want to be the last boss. I want to be the one in the story who operates in the shadow, showing everyone their greatness. So he wants to be the shadow, that be able to be there in the shadow while everybody else is having their great times. So he wants to be a vigilante. It's what I just said before. This man just wants to be a vigilante. He doesn't want to be a hero, or perhaps one of these days he'll just turn into an anti-hero. We'll just have to see. But my god, the way that they did it in the first episode, you know, before the isekai, and they showed him, it's such a power play fantasy, you know? That's how a lot of isekais are nowadays, and because of that, I sort of just lose interest in it, because as much as it is, I kind of have gotten tired of it. You know, I do like my fair share of OP characters in anime, but only if they're done right. And the Eminence in Shadow, I remember when I got into it, I really liked the concept of it, but we haven't really seen the actual concept of what the summary is just yet, so we'll have to see it in episode 2. But that was the one reason that really caught me. The whole thing with him honestly being a bit of a psychopath even before he isekai'd into the fantasy world is a little, ooh. You know, I don't know, like, we're at this point where he's just out here beating the fuck out of people, even if they're bad people, you know, and also the fact that he somehow managed to follow them, even though they were in the car when they were kidnapping that Nishino girl. How was he able to follow them when they were in the fucking truck, unless they were driving at a very slow speed? But he managed to follow them, and then he... Okay. And then he, you know, came in and fucking beat them up like the goddamn psycho that he is. And even though the pre-isekai stuff are anime only, they gotta throw in that cliche of having a damsel in distress, but also the girl was about to get sexually assaulted, and it's such a fucking cliche. Like, of course this girl is going to get sexually assaulted. Isn't that the same thing that also happens in, like, the Skeleton Knight? If I remember, I haven't seen the anime, but I've read the manga, so I specifically remember, like, isn't that how it started out as well? It's such a cliche thing, you know? Oh, a damsel in distress, gotta save her, and now, potentially, well, in this case, we'll never see it, because, of course, the guy gets isekai into the other world. But, you know, usually how it is like the girl gets sexually assaulted, the main character comes in, be the hero, and save her, and then she falls in love with him, because, of course, when you're... Would this count as the suspension bridge effect? I'm not really sure if I should call it the suspension... Hold on, suspension bridge effect. It is, the suspension bridge effect is a scientific and psychological term used to describe a biological reaction in our psychology when we are under pressure. I guess? Well, here you go. Attribution? I don't know how to say that. Misattribution of arousal. Yeah, misattribution of arousal is the process where people make a mistake in assuming that is causing them to feel aroused. Probably not. I'm gonna take back my words. I'm gonna eat it. I'm gonna eat my words. Anyways, other than me talking about power fantasy, I don't know why I keep saying power play, but every time I say power play, I'm thinking about a hentai of the same name. By the way, if you haven't seen Power Play, you should totally check it out. Where am I going? Where I'm just recommending, look, I'm gonna say is that Yamato Gawa makes fucking great hentais, alright? That's all I'm gonna say. But other than that, not too much for me to talk about, because again, we're never gonna see this Nishino girl, and for some reason we have this whole backstory with her. So, like, I mean, I could talk about that for ages, but again, we're probably never gonna fucking see her again, or will we? I don't know. Again, maybe she's just really here for the beginning to show us how other people saw him, you know, instead of going through his perspective, which I thought was an interesting approach, but again, with all the other stuff that I was talking about. But the actual anime starts in the second episode, so we'll just have to see it next week, and if I have anything else to say, I will write it in the description down below. Thank you guys for sticking around, and I will see you guys when I see you guys.